channel. So for those that missed the last video, I put a full eBay exhaust on this 2023 Aprilia Tuono 660 factory, as well as a Gabbro up map. The specific map that I used was the Gabbro up map for the Akrapovic exhaust with the DV killer. So this is gonna be my actual first impressions. This is my first time riding this bike with these changes. So let's see what we got here. Oh, much more mid-range. I don't want to ride too fast right in this area here, but immediately a lot more mid-range. The stock exhaust and stock tune, there was a really bad flat spot right around 5,000 RPM or so. I would say 5,000 to 6,500 RPM. Really bad, really pronounced flat spot there. That appears to be gone. Let's go ahead and head this way. Very smooth throttle application now. We will test out the top end here in just a little bit, but immediately mid-range, much better. Oh yeah, much better. Just that part throttle acceleration, way more effortless, way smoother. With that, in stock form, this bike, when you would accelerate up through the mid-range, it would the acceleration rate, it would kind of be like this. You kind of have this weird up and down, almost like it's surging kind of a feeling, but now that appears to be gone. Let's open it up here. Here we go. Feels, I would say top end feels about the same, but coming through the mid-range, much better. And freeway, nice and smooth. It feels like the vibration is a little bit less. The first thing I noticed about this bike, this is before I even bought it, this is just when I took it out for a test ride, I noticed that the vibration was really, really bad. It was really pronounced, so it does seem like it runs a little bit better. It seems like it's a little bit smoother now. Throttle response, it feels like it's maybe a little bit better. Quick shifter, as I was going up through the gears there, actually, you know what, we'll talk about the quick shifter here in a little bit. I want to test it at a little bit slower speeds. Quick shifter C, it is better, but not, it's still not the best. It's a little bit rough. On this bike, sometimes I even use the clutch going from first to second because the quick shifter is so rough. Oh yeah, much stronger. Wow, that's a huge difference. I'm surprised how much difference it made there, right there in that mid-range, just kind of rolling the throttle on. Let's see if we can make this light. Say the top end, it feels, I don't know, I think it feels about the same as stock. It's just, you know, these bikes, they get going, but it's not a ton of power where it's gonna light your hair on fire anyway. It's just sufficient is how I would describe it. But yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed with that mid-range. And to be clear, I credit that mid-range gain to the flat, more to the flash than anything else. It's not gonna be from the exhaust. In my last video, which if you guys haven't seen, make sure you check it out. But in my last video, I showed you what the inside of this exhaust looks like. It has a chambered muffler in it. There's no catalytic converter, but the muffler itself is pretty, it's pretty restrictive. Plus there's no balance tube on the header part. So I could see how this exhaust is known to lose a little bit of power there on the top end. It did lose a little bit of weight. This exhaust is about 5 pounds lighter than the stock one. The stock exhaust on these bikes, it looked really, really heavy, but when I weighed it, it wasn't too bad. It was only about 13 pounds for the whole exhaust. Quick shifter, let me try that again here. That is a little bit smoother. I don't know how the flash does. I don't know what the science is, but that is a little bit smoother, I must say. Seems to tack up pretty quick. I wouldn't say it tacks up any faster and slower than stock, but seems about the same. What I really like about this exhaust though is at idle it's pretty quiet. So when you open it up, it'll make some noise. It'll give you a little bark there, but at idle and real low RPM, you don't have it be super loud, super obnoxious, which is what I was going for this bike. So you know, to be clear, I'm not here to try to convince people to buy this exhaust or convince people that this is just as good as an SC Project or an Austin Racing or a Terminoni or something like that. I'm not trying to say any of those things. I'm not trying to say that, you know, those exhausts are overpriced or anything and this is better. However, depending on philosophy of use, depending on, you know, what your intention is with the bike, the best decision is the best decision just for your purposes. So you know, if you're looking to race the bike, if you want to get out every little bit of performance, then yeah, this would not be what I would choose. I would choose a MIV or an SC Project or something like that. But for my use, you know, those exhausts they're a little bit loud for one thing, and we're trying to build this bike on a budget, so I can't exactly spend $2,000 on an SC Project exhaust for this bike. I mean, that and a flash would basically blow the entire budget for this motorcycle. So that wasn't really an option. And again, that's, you know, people's budgets are their budgets. You know, some people have $2,000 to spend on an exhaust. Some Ducati exhausts are $10,000, right? Some people can spend that kind of money and are willing to spend that kind of money, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just each individual is just different. But the good thing about this exhaust here is it's not near as cost prohibitive. You know, most people with one of these bikes, they can afford a, oh yeah, definitely gets pretty light on that front wheel there in first gear, which it did not do that before, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, this exhaust, basically I paid with shipping and taxes and all that stuff. This exhaust was under $350, okay? Then the map, an up map, it was $560, I think. So up map's pretty much the same across the board for any bike, basically. So, you know, not that that's nothing, not that that's, you know, affordable to everybody out there, but for most people with at least one of these bikes, they can probably afford that. You know, get the bike running properly, get a little more sound out of it. But nice little snarl through the tunnel. Let's make sure this Tesla doesn't kill me. It's always the Teslas. But you can get a nice little snarl out of the exhaust. You can add to the experience. You know, not everybody is looking to get every last bit of performance out of their bike. They're just looking for a better experience, and I think for me this does that. I think this exhaust, it gives me that. It gives me, you know, a little bit more fun. It makes the bike something that I want to ride more. When you don't have any exhaust noise at all, when you can't really hear the engine, it's all just induction noise, then that's kind of not super fun. All right, here we go. Okay, yep. So if you kind of hammer it there, it'll pick that wheel up. Yeah, a little bit of pop on decel, but not too bad. Not the real annoying, almost like machine gun pops that you get with some exhaust systems and some motorcycles. But let's go ahead and pull over here and let's talk about this bike a little bit more. And there you have it, you guys. So I must say, I'm very satisfied with this setup. I'm pretty surprised at how well it performs, how good it sounds. Again, I'm not trying to say that this is the best exhaust for every single person, for any RS660 or any Tuono 660. I'm not trying to say that it's the absolute best. I'm just saying for my intended purposes, for what I want to use this bike for, what my goals were, I think this worked out really well. I think it worked out better than
any other exhaust really that I could have bought for this bike. Let's take a look at what we're talking about here. So this is a full exhaust. You can get these from eBay, AliExpress, Alibaba, and you can see it goes 2 into 1 into that muffler there, and then you use the stock heat shields to finish it off. Even the pipes exiting out of the heat shield itself are very similar to the stock ones. There's gonna be a lot more for the Tuono 660. Gonna be doing carbon fiber. We're gonna be putting a steering damper, an Olin steering damper on this bike. So there's been a lot of kind of misinformation online about, you know, does it fit, does it not fit, does it hit the coolant bottle? You have people saying yes, you have some people saying no. So we're gonna try to put that to rest. We're gonna see if it really does fit or if it doesn't. We're going to be changing the gear ratio. We're gonna be taking some more weight off the bike. I also ordered another Chinese exhaust. I ordered the Teen Top exhaust for this bike. So don't ask me about the name. I don't know why they've named their company Teen Top. You know, maybe somebody who speaks Mandarin or Cantonese can get in the comments there and tell us maybe what the origin of that name is, maybe why they chose that name. But I did order it. It is an exhaust that AF1 Racing actually sells. So just from looking at pictures, I can already see that there's some slight improvements with that exhaust. It has a balance tube for the header primaries. The Y pipe merge going into the muffler looks a little bit better. It looks a little bit larger. And then the tips are a little bit different. So it still uses the stock heat shields, but the exhaust tips are a little bit different. So that's kind of cool. But basically we'll do like a Chinese exhaust shootout for this Tuono 660. You know what, before we end this video, let's do a little exhaust clip real quick. Okay, so there you go, start up. Not too loud, just nice and throaty, but definitely louder than stock. Let's give it a couple revs. There you go. So I don't want to make too much noise in this neighborhood, but got a nice little bark to it. Give it one more. As you guys heard there, pretty tame on a scale of 1 to 10. If a stock exhaust is 1 and like an SC Project CRT is a 10, I would say that the sound level alone, just the volume level, this exhaust is going to be around a 3.5 or a 4. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I would call this a success. I'm totally happy with it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment down below. Check out the coupon codes and affiliate links down below. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, see you on the next one.